What is up, everybody? I want to do a quick video teaching you how to travel for cheap in 2019. I know there's a lot of people out there wondering, okay, how do I save money on travel with plane tickets, hotel stays, and all these different variables? How do I travel affordably? So I'm going to teach you how to do that in this video. I just got back from Miami from the 10X GrowthCon event. It's a 3-day business conference. I don't just want to call it a business conference. It sounds boring. It's like a life transformational event. If you've never heard of it or Grant Cardone, be sure to check him out. So I'm plugging Grant Cardone and the 10X movement. Check it out. It will change your life. It's totally something you want to be a part of. Now, on to what this video is about. So how to travel for cheap. Number one, let's start with plane tickets. That's like one of the biggest expenses when traveling is plane tickets. Because I'm not really going to talk about other things like other ways of traveling, like driving or a train or something like that. Plane tickets. We're going to talk about that. It's the most important thing. So how do you find affordable plane tickets? Here is my tips for you. So I use an app called Skyscanner. It's all you can do it. Download the app, or you can also do it online. Skyscanner.com. I'll leave the link below. But with Skyscanner, they find you the cheapest plane tickets out there. Now, along with finding the best price plane tickets, you also want to know these things. Things such as booking your flight in advance. So how much in advance do you want to book your flight? How long should you book it? Well, my advice is going to be at least 3 weeks before your trip is actually happening. When you try to book a plane ticket like the week of, they're going to go up. Because when a flight first becomes available, they're trying to sell the seats. As the flight starts to get booked up more, the price will raise. So as less seats become available, they know that if you need to take the flight, that you're going to be willing to pay more because there's less seats available. So plane tickets will go up on you. So I made the mistake one time of like procrastinating to buy a flight, and the flight was actually already pretty cheap. But then I waited and it went up more. It went up more. And that's what plane tickets do. They keep playing games with you. That's just the way it goes. So they're not like a flat price. They will go up over time. They will continue to increase. Now, here's another little insider trick I learned though about buying plane tickets. So, along with using Skyscanner to find the cheapest price plane ticket, another secret hack to save money on plane tickets is to actually go to the airport and buy the ticket at the counter. So if the airport isn't too far away from you and it wouldn't be too much of an inconvenience, you could save a decent amount of money buying it at the counter. So here's an example. At least with the airline Spirit, I'm not sure, I can't speak on all the airlines, but I'm pretty sure it might be the same for every airline, because with paying in person, you don't have to pay, you can avoid some fees and different taxes they charge online. So here's an example. There's a plane ticket I was going to book from my hometown Greensboro to Miami, round trip flight. Now it was going to be, if I would have paid online, I would have paid over $200. So probably around $230, probably between like $215 and $230 after taxes and fees if I would have bought it online. By simply taking a 20-minute drive to the airport, I saved around $100. So I paid $130 paying at the counter versus paying about $230 online. So that's a little hack that most people don't know about, is if you take the time, go to the airport, you can save money at the counter. Most people don't know that. So use the app Skyscanner to compare flights, book your flight at least 3 weeks in advance, and pay at the counter at the airport can save you money on flights. Now, another tip with flights is if you have good credit, you can apply for credit cards that offer reward bonus points that translate into free flights. So a lot of companies like American Express, there's plenty of companies, American Express, a lot of these airlines too they're partnered with different banks. So you have MasterCard, you have Visa, you have Discover. And so a lot of these companies will partner with them and offer reward programs. So for example, on my Spirit flight, the Spirit Airlines, they offer really affordable flights to begin with. So that's somebody you want to check out too when you're flying. If they fly to where you fly to, you can save money by flying Spirit. It's not fancy, but it was a pretty smooth trip. Now, I digressed. Now, back to what I was saying. Wait a minute. My mind just went blank. What was I saying? Oh yeah, reward points. So with reward points, for example, Spirit Airlines had an on-flight offer. So when you take the flight, it's not available anywhere else. It's only available on the flight. So their on-flight offer, if you look at the application, is they'll give you 34,000 bonus points after your first purchase on their card. And it could be anything. It could be a cup of coffee. Now, 34,000 bonus points is equivalent to 7 round trips to anywhere they go. just by buying one thing. So you can literally spend $1 and it'll give you 34,000 points. You have 7 free round trips just for doing that. So if you have good credit, you definitely want to take advantage of credit card offers to be able to fly for free and also free hotel stays. So there's plenty of places you can go to find credit card offers. There's a website called cardsfortravel.com. That's cardfortravels.com. If you want, I can link that below as well. On there, you'll see different credit card offers. And off the top of my head, I can't remember all the other sites, but I'll leave them in the description so you can check out all the places where you can find credit card offers and see if any of them fit your needs. So that is my advice as far as plane tickets go. Those were some very valuable tips that will definitely 100% help you if you use them. So now that we talked about flights, what are we going to talk about next? Let's talk about stay, because that's the next most important thing, right? Is where you're staying at. So how do you stay for cheap? Now here's your options. I'm going to start from free to moving up to most expensive. So free, number one, is obviously family and friends. If you have family and friends where you're staying, great. Coordinate with them. Ask them, can you stay there? Now, everyone pretty much probably already knows that, yeah, if I have family, I'm going to stay with them. Cool beans. Out the way. Number two free thing is called Couchsurfing. There's a website called Couchsurfing.com. And what they do is you can go in their credit profile, and there's other people, there's other hosts and travelers, couchsurfers, that will host you for free. So pretty much that gives you a way to like meet people, meet the native people, whatever area you're going to, make new friends, hang out, stuff like that. So they'll host you, and they'll let you sleep on their couch, or maybe they have a guest room at their house in exchange, just for building a friendship. And it's just a community of couch surfers. Now I will say that didn't work for me when I tried to book a trip to Miami. I was like, all right, I heard of it. I was like, let me try this couch surfing thing out. Granted, I was very new to it. Maybe I didn't even message people right. It's worked for a lot of people, so I don't want to discourage you from trying it. But if it's like a last minute trip thing, I wouldn't recommend couchsurfing. You probably want to build that or try to connect with people way in advance of your trip. Plenty of people do it. It's worked for a lot of people. It didn't work for me though. I tried it last minute. So I'm not putting it, that's not any negativity against the concept. If you're willing and open to stay with a stranger, hey, couchsurfing might be 100% for you. So you can go to couchsurfing.com, create an account. Now I will say they do try to sell you on this thing called getting verified, which costs like $75. And it will make you a verified member, I guess, which makes people more trustworthy of hosting you. So that might lead to more conversions for you as far as people who say yes or who are willing to let you in their house. So you can pay that $75. Other than that, it is free. Now, moving on to the next cheapest thing is a concept called hostels. They're not hotels. They're hostels, or the concept of, say there's a room, and in the room there might be bunk beds. So there might be 4 people to one room, or depending on how big the room is, it could be 6 people to one room. Anyway, the concept is pretty much bunk beds, and you're renting a bed inside a room. So instead of renting a whole room, you're renting a bed inside a room, which makes, for depending on where you're traveling to, once again, an opportunity to meet strangers and connect with other people, and also stay for really cheap. Because you're only renting the bed, usually hostels only cost you about $15 a night. So if you're a backpacker or someone looking to travel for cheap, staying in a hostel might be for you. Now, I do want to talk about the downsides about staying in a hostel, and here they are. So when you stay in a hostel or in a shared space like that, here's the things that you have to deal with. So you're sharing a room with people. Obviously, the things like other people's mess, snoring at night. Other people you sleep with might snore that are in the room, and I personally can't sleep with other people snoring. Very annoyed by that. So I personally couldn't really do the concept of hostels. 'Cause I don't really like sharing a space with people that I don't necessarily know that may snore or stuff like that. Number 2 is also you're sharing the bathrooms. So, and obviously number 3 is no privacy. Very limited privacy in a hostel. Once again, if you're a backpacker and you're just someone who doesn't care about those things, you're all for it, and you just want to travel for really cheap, a hostel, look for hostels in the places you go. They're really popular in places like Thailand, but they're also all around the US as well, concepts of hostels. Okay, so now we've talked about staying with family and friends, then we talked about couch surfing and hostels. Now we're moving up to the next tier, which I would call Airbnb. Now most of you might now know what Airbnb is, but some of you watching this video may never have tried Airbnb. You're still stuck on, yeah, I'm only staying in a hotel. Staying in a total stranger's house is not an option. But let me explain Airbnb. Airbnb has been a great experience for me for the most part. There's one example that wasn't good that I will talk to you in a second. But Airbnb has been a very good concept for a lot of people, including myself. It makes for, more affordable travel. along with yeah, pretty much this main thing is like more affordable travel, and you might be able to find bigger spaces or more you can find more custom spaces. So versus just staying in a hotel room, it provides a great alternative. So with Airbnb, there's options where you can like rent out just someone's private room in a house that they may or may not live in, or maybe all the rooms are privately rented out. So when once again, you might have your own room that's completely yours, but you might be sharing your bathroom with another guest who's staying in their other own room. Or it could be you're staying in a private room of a family who lives in that house still. So you can do options like that. Or there's also options on Airbnb where you can rent out the whole house. And the key to Airbnb is obviously, once again, the rule of thumb is if when you book in advance, you save the most money. So if you know an event is happening, you want to book in advance, because if you're going to try to book around the time of an event, first of all, a lot of people know about Airbnb now, so a lot of the Airbnbs are going to get taken up. And the ones that are available, the prices are going to pretty much skyrocket. They're going to go up a lot. So anytime, rule of thumb is to book in advance as much as possible. Okay, so one of the keys to Airbnb as well is to look at reviews. You definitely 100% want to look at reviews or see what people are saying about the property. There are things called superhosts. Superhosts, people have they've hosted a lot of people, and they have a lot of good reviews. So you want to look at properties that have superhosts and look at places that have good pictures that kind of give you a good perspective of the place. If a place only has limited pictures and they're bad pictures, I probably wouldn't stay there. I probably wouldn't recommend staying there. Now, me and a friend recently did make a mistake going to this event in Miami, and it was a 30,000 person event that was at the Marlins Stadium. So tons of people there, obviously, which means hotels are getting booked, Airbnbs are getting booked, so limited availability. So out of desperation and last minute planning, so bad planning, don't be that way, plan ahead. Last minute planning, we booked an Airbnb quickly, which I didn't realize we were booking a hostel Airbnb. So me and my friend thought, okay, he rented a part, I rented a part. We thought we was going to have our own room. No, we get in there. First of all, this place was dirty. It was a dirty place. And there were 3 other people in the room in bunk beds. And the bathrooms were nasty. It was not good at all. But the property was new on Airbnb, so there were no reviews. I will never, ever make that mistake again. We slept there one night. I probably got 1 hour of sleep. Next day, we booked a hotel and just paid more money. But, once again, that was completely 100% my fault. No reviews, bad pictures. And I just, out of desperation and limited availability, I took it. I will not make that mistake again, to be clear. Okay, so if you've never used Airbnb before, that's a great way for you to save some money is to click the link below. Use my sign-up link, my affiliate link. I will get a reward for that through Airbnb, but it won't cost you anything extra. You'll actually get $40 off your first booking if you sign up through my link. Off of when you book for $75 or more, they'll give you $40 off of that. So if you're booking your first Airbnb, you've never used them before, I highly suggest you do. Check them out. Use my link below. Save some money. Once again, and when you invite friends on Airbnb who's never used it before, they will provide you more credits. So the more people that you make aware of Airbnb that book stays, you'll in exchange get credits where you'll be able to stay for free in other places. So I like Airbnb. I like what they're doing. There should be some more regulations because some people I think are getting away with things that they shouldn't be getting away with. But that's not the conversation we're having. Airbnb is a great option for travel, and I definitely recommend you check them out. Now, other than plane and stay, the next thing you have, a stay obviously is what everybody knows about, is the hotels. I can't really give you much advice on hotels besides, once again, credit card reward points. So you can once again Google places like Wyndham Hotel credit card, or different places. A lot of them have credit cards that will give you bonus points just for signing up for the credit card that are equivalent to free stays. So that is my last tip on that. Once we talk about travel, as far as your flights and your stay, what else is left? There's getting around. Should you rent a car or should you Uber and Lyft? Now, if you rent a car, that might be the cheapest option for you, but depending on what city you go to, it might not be best to rent a car because of parking and tolls. So certain cities have a lot of tolls, and then certain places have very limited amount of parking. So you might be able to drive around, but then you get to places and you can't park anywhere, which is very inconvenient. So I do recommend using platforms like Uber and Lyft. Now, from my personal experience, though, Lyft has been cheaper every single time. For the most part, Lyft has beat the price of Uber for all of my rides by at least 30 to 40%, if not more, as far as cost goes. Now, I've used Uber, I've used Lyft, Both of them pretty much the same exact thing, except Lyft is cheaper. Most people who drive for Lyft also drive for Uber or vice versa. So you're getting the same car, you're getting the same drivers. It's just that Lyft offers better pricing in my opinion. Now, I would definitely recommend using both platforms and doing your own comparison depending where you are, because it could be the other way around. And once again, if you never use either one of those ride-sharing platforms, you can sign up with my link below and get $5 off like your first 3 or 4 rides. So oftentimes, well, Lyft has an option called shared ride, which offers you the best rate. It gives you the cheapest price, and it matches the driver and you up with people who are going in similar directions. So it could be you and another person, or you and 2 other people, but due to other people sharing the ride with you, it is a cheaper price. So I definitely recommend doing it every time, especially if you're not in like a huge rush to where you're going, or if you are, just, you know, book your Lyft a little bit earlier. That way you can, you basically are able to plan for those stops that it might make. But all my experience were great. Most of my rides, I didn't even have to share with anyone, but I still got a great cheap price. And like I said, your first 3 or 4 rides will be $5 off, which could end up making your ride only $1 a piece depending on how far you're traveling in whatever city you're in. So sign up with my link below for that to get a discount on those platforms. Those are my tips for cheap and affordable travel in 2019. Hopefully I can't talk. Hopefully those helped you out. Hopefully you enjoy those tips, you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. I will be putting out more and more videos on things like travel, pretty much anything. Travel, business, entrepreneurship, a lot of things, tutorials. So if you want more of my content, if you want more of me, then subscribe and stay in touch. And I look forward to connecting with you guys more and more. All right, I will see you guys next time. Peace out.